Hey everyone, good morning. James Azar here with the CyberHub podcast for your daily practitioner brief for July 22nd, 2020. It's hump day, it's Wednesday, very excited. Before we get started on today's briefing, go to cyberhubpodcast.com. Make sure you get our practitioner brief in your inbox daily. That's how you help us support our supporters of this podcast, as well as you get all the links and all the important news directly in your inbox. And we promise to respect this. We only do this Monday through Thursday. Yesterday, we posted a great tech corner with Roger Grimes on data-driven cybersecurity, something that I urge everyone to go give a listen to. A really, really great podcast. If you're listening on our audio podcast, it's going to be right before this episode right here. Give it a listen. It's very, very interesting. We talk a lot about data and how data can influence cybersecurity and how it's being used and misused currently. A lot of great tips by Roger and really further discussions coming on this specific topic as well. Now let's get into our practitioner brief, where a new Meow attack has wiped dozens of unsecured databases. Discovered by researcher Bob Dachenko, the database was initially secured in July, only to become exposed again 5 days later. The second time, though, the owner no longer received a well-intended notification. Instead, they got meowed, with almost all records getting wiped. Bleeping Computer, which posted this specific story, did a search in Shodan and found dozens of databases that have been impacted by this attack. The attacks have pushed researchers into a race to find exposed databases and report them responsibly before they become meowed, essentially wiped out. The activity started and it's hitting Elasticsearch and MongoDB instances indiscriminately without leaving any sort of explanation or even a ransom note. It just seems to be malicious in nature. So something that administrators should make sure is that they only expose what they want to have exposed and make sure that your assets are properly secured. Otherwise, you're bound to get meowed. Apparently, that's the name for this specific attack. And now we move into a critical patch that is really out of order of release. Adobe has released an out-of-band emergency security update for Photoshop, Prelude, and Bridge. 5 vulnerabilities have now been resolved in the Photoshop CC 2019 versions 20.0.9 and earlier, and Photoshop 2020 versions 21.2 and earlier on Windows machines. CVE 2029er 683 and 2029er 686, 2029er 685 and 2029er 687 are all out of bounds with security flaws. All these vulnerabilities are considered critical, and if exploited, could lead to arbitrary code execution. You can find all the details, including the links to the patches on Adobe's alert, on our website, cyberhubpodcast.com. Make sure you sign up for our PDF. Get this email directly in your inbox. You can listen. You'll have the PDF right in front of you. You can click on all the links, everything you need. We vet those links. We ensure that they're not taking you anywhere malicious as well. So we pay attention to security, let's put it like this. And our final story for today is a vulnerability that allows remote hacking of devices running Citrix Workspace app. Citrix informed customers this week that it has placed a vulnerability in its Workspace app that can allow an attacker to remotely hack the computer running the affected application. The security hole, tracked as CVE 2020-8207 and classified as high severity, affects the automatic update service used by Citrix Workspace app for Windows, and it can be exploited by a local attacker to escalate privileges or by a remote attacker for arbitrary command execution. The vulnerability, which was discovered from Pentest Partners, the company did publish a blog all about this, again available on our PDF at cyberhubpodcast.com. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can get our PDF by clicking below the video. If you're listening to us on your favorite podcast listening platform, in the description of the video there is a link that'll take you directly to our PDF where you can sign up and get this in your inbox as well. Citrix has had a very, very rough year. In fact, with many of us that like to forget 2020 altogether. This year started with the Citrix vulnerabilities, and this has continued. In fact, every several weeks we are posting something around a Citrix vulnerability that needs to be patched. That's it for our practitioner brief here today, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. Make sure you subscribe, give us 5 stars, comment below. This helps us push up our ranking on your favorite podcast listening platform. Share this podcast with your friends. Remember, sharing is caring. My name is James Azar. Thanks so much for listening and tuning in. Until tomorrow, folks, stay cyber safe.